The Cuban Revolution 1956-1959. Welcome back to Prospect Everything, the place where we deep dive into fascinating stories from the past. Today we're uncovering the dramatic events of the Cuban Revolution, a tale of political upheaval, guerrilla warfare, and the rise of one of the 20th century's most iconic leaders. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more captivating historical content. Picture this: Cuba, 1956. A nation torn by political unrest and corruption. Our story begins with Fulgencio Batista's coup in 1952, plunging Cuba into a dark era of dictatorship. But hold on, it wasn't always like this. Batista had a previous stint as a legitimate Cuban president from 1940 to 1944, overseeing economic growth and stability. What went wrong? Let's find out. Fast forward to the 26th of July movement, led by none other than the charismatic Fidel Castro. How did he become the face of this revolution? In 1953, Castro's daring raid to the Moncada army barracks marked the beginning of his revolutionary journey. Despite initial setbacks, he emerged as a symbol of resistance after being arrested and imprisoned. The revolution takes a daring turn. Freed from prison, Castro heads to Mexico, raises a guerrilla army, and sails back to Cuba in 1956 to challenge Batista. A harrowing battle unfolds, leaving only a handful of survivors, including Castro and the legendary Che Guevara, to retreat to the Sierra Maestra mountains. The stage is set for a classic guerrilla campaign. The Cuban people had a strong distrust of their government that surged when Batista seized control. He took power through a coup, and his dictatorship was widely resented. Batista's inability to establish legitimacy enabled the eventual success of the insurgency, as more and more Cubans came to side with Castro and the revolution. January 1, 1959, the day Castro seizes power, marking the beginning of a new chapter for Cuba. The revolution's outcome? A government loss, transitioning into a communist regime. What followed? The United States was one of the first countries to recognize Castro's government, but broke off diplomatic relations with Cuba in 1961, as Cuba fostered closer ties to the Soviet Union amidst the Cold War. Following the Cuban Revolution, Castro remained in power until 2008. And that wraps up our exploration of the Cuban Revolution. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more historical content like this. Until next time.